Hi there, it's Lety and this is Lety's English podcast. Thank you for being here with me today, wherever you are. However you're feeling, I hope this little moment gives you a quiet pause, a gentle breath, a reminder that you are not alone today. I want to talk to you about something that sounds simple, almost invisible, yet has the power to change the way you live, feel, and move through the world today. I want to share with you the quiet wisdom of solitude, the gift of being alone, not as loneliness, not as emptiness, but as a soft homecoming, a returning to yourself, a place where you can truly listen and understand the person inside you. Let's start from here. I spent many years of my life listening to others, listening to their stories, their worries, their laughter, and their pain. I used to think that being a good friend, a good daughter, a good colleague, meant that I had to always be available, always ready to listen, always holding space for other people. And it's true, there's beauty and meaning in being there for someone else. But somewhere along the way, I forgot to listen to myself. I forgot that I too have a voice, a story, needs, and dreams that deserve my own gentle attention. Maybe you have felt this too. Maybe you have spent years being there for others, and one day you wake up and realize, I'm a stranger to myself. I don't know what I feel. I don't know what I want. I don't know what truly makes my heart peaceful and whole. This is the moment where solitude becomes a gift, not something to fear, not a sign that you are failing at life, but a chance to finally come home to yourself, a space to pause, breathe, and gently listen to your own heart. Why do we find it so hard to be alone? Maybe it's the noise of the world, always pulling us in different directions, making us feel that if we are not busy, not connected, not available 24/7, then we are missing out. Maybe it's because somewhere we learned that our worth is measured by how useful we are to others, by how much we do, by how many people we can help, by how often we say yes. But the truth is, you can only give what you have. You can only be fully present for someone else. When you have first been present with yourself, you can only understand and support others. When you have taken the time to understand and support yourself, so what happens when you spend time alone? Really alone, without distractions, without scrolling, without running away from yourself. At first, it can feel uncomfortable. There is a restlessness, a kind of anxiety, like your mind is not used to the quiet, to the absence of other voices. You might reach for your phone, turn on some background noise, find something to fill the space. But if you can breathe through that moment, if you can stay just a little longer with yourself, you will notice something gentle start to happen. You begin to hear your own thoughts, not the thoughts of others, not the endless to-do lists, not the opinions you picked up from social media, but your own voice. Clear and quiet, you start to remember what you love, what you fear, what you need to heal, what makes you feel alive. You notice the dreams you left waiting in a dusty corner of your mind. You begin to feel the emotions that have been trying to reach you for weeks, months, even years. Sometimes it is sadness, sometimes it is anger or confusion, sometimes it is gratitude, or hope, or even peace. All of these are part of you. They have been waiting for your attention. Your kindness. This is the quiet wisdom of solitude. It is the gentle art of becoming your own best friend. It is learning to sit with yourself, to notice what you need, to hold space for your pain and your joy, to ask yourself the same questions you so often ask others. How are you? Really, what are you feeling? What do you need right now? If you've never done this before, it can feel strange at first. We are not taught to value time alone. We are taught to seek validation from outside. to compare ourselves, to keep moving, to never stop, and simply be with ourselves. But your relationship with yourself is the longest and most important relationship you will ever have. It is the foundation for every other connection in your life. Let's talk about some of the beautiful gifts that come from spending time alone. First, solitude gives you clarity. When you are surrounded by noise, by other people's expectations, by the endless stream of information, your mind can become cloudy, confused, pulled in 100 different directions. But when you sit alone, even for a short time each day, you begin to hear your own truth. You notice which dreams belong to you and which were never yours to carry. You see what really matters and what you can let go of. Clarity is not just about knowing what you want. It's about knowing what you don't want, what you are ready to release, what no longer serves your journey. Second, solitude gives you emotional balance. When you allow yourself to feel without judgment, without trying to fix or change anything, you develop a quiet strength. You learn that emotions are not dangerous. They are messages from your inner world, asking for your attention. When you sit with your sadness, you realize it won't last forever. When you sit with your anxiety, you see that it is just a part of you, not all of you. When you sit with your joy, you learn to savor it, to let it fill your whole body. Over time, you become less afraid of your feelings. You become more stable, more resilient, able to move through life with a calm center. Third, solitude helps you recharge. We talk a lot about social batteries, about being introverted or extroverted, but the truth is, everyone needs some time alone to refill their energy. It is in these quiet moments that your mind rests, your heart recovers, your spirit breathes. You become less reactive, less tired, more able to respond to life's challenges with patience and creativity. Fourth, solitude is where you meet your creativity. So many beautiful ideas are born in quiet moments, when you are not distracted, when you are not trying to please anyone. Your imagination can come alive. You can write, draw, dream, plan, play. You discover talents and passions that you never knew you had. Fifth, solitude helps you make better decisions. When you take time to listen to yourself, you make choices that are true to your values, your needs, your dreams. You stop living on autopilot, stop following the crowd, and start walking your own path. This is where true freedom begins. But maybe the greatest gift of solitude is this: you learn to love and accept yourself, not the version that is perfect, not the version that always has it together, but the real, messy, beautiful human that you are. You realize that you don't need to be anyone else. You are enough, just as you are. I want to share a little story with you. There was a time in my life when I was so busy being there for everyone else that I lost myself. I remember one evening, sitting alone in my room, feeling empty, tired, disconnected. I had spent the whole week listening to other people, helping, supporting, fixing, but I hadn't asked myself how I was doing. That night, for the first time in a long time, I turned off my phone, closed my laptop, and just sat in silence. At first, my mind raced. I felt restless, guilty even, like I was wasting time. But slowly, as I breathed, I felt something shift inside me. I started to notice how tired I really was. I started to feel a quiet sadness, a longing for something more. I let myself cry for no reason at all, and then after the tears came a gentle peace, a sense that I was finally home with myself. That night changed me. I realized that if I wanted to be truly present for the people I loved, I had to first be present for myself. If I wanted to be strong, I had to allow myself to be soft. If I wanted to understand others, I had to first understand myself. Since then, I have made solitude a sacred part of my life, not as an escape, not as a way to avoid the world, but as a way to refill my heart, to return to my own truth. Even just 10 or 15 minutes a day can make a huge difference. Maybe you are listening to this and thinking, but I don't have time. My life is so busy. There are always people around, always things to do. I understand. But solitude doesn't have to mean running away to a mountain or spending hours meditating. It can be as simple as waking up a little earlier, sitting with your morning tea in silence. It can be walking alone in nature, feeling the ground beneath your feet. It can be journaling, writing down your thoughts and feelings, letting them flow onto the page without judgment. It can be lying in bed before you sleep, putting your hand on your heart and asking yourself, how am I? Really, asterisk, these little pockets of solitude are like water for a thirsty plant. They nourish you. They help you grow. They keep you connected to the core of who you are. Asterisk. Over time, you will notice changes. You will start to feel more grounded, less reactive. You will begin to trust your own voice. Even when the world is loud, you will develop a deep sense of peace, a confidence that comes from knowing and loving yourself. Asterisk. You might even notice that your relationships improve. When you are rooted in yourself, you can listen better, love better, support others without losing yourself. You become less afraid of being misunderstood, less hungry for outside approval. You find a quiet strength that nothing and no one can take away. Asterisk, of course, there will be days when solitude feels hard. There will be days when you don't want to face your feelings, when you would rather distract yourself. That's okay. This is not about being perfect. It's about being honest with yourself. It's about giving yourself the same kindness you give to others. If you have never tried this before, I invite you gently to start today. Give yourself 5 minutes of solitude. Turn off the noise. Close your eyes. Breathe deeply. Notice what comes up. Don't judge it. Don't push it away, just notice. You might be surprised by what you find. You might discover parts of yourself you forgot existed. You might hear dreams that are ready to be born. You might feel sadness that needs to be honored. You might feel a deep well of strength that has been waiting for you all along. And if, in this solitude, you begin to feel lonely, remember this: you are not alone. Every person you admire, every soul you look up to has learned to sit with themselves, to face their own darkness and light. It is in these quiet moments that we grow, that we become whole. The world will always be loud. There will always be demands on your time, your energy, your heart, but you are allowed to choose yourself. You are allowed to say, I need this time to listen to me. You are allowed to make your inner peace a priority. This is not selfish. This is wisdom. This is the quiet strength of solitude. I want you to know, from my heart to yours, that you are worth listening to. Your story matters. Your dreams matter. Your feelings are valid. Just take this moment right now and breathe. Let yourself come home. You are enough. You are loved. You are loved. Thank you for sharing this space with me. Thank you for choosing yourself, for choosing to listen, for choosing to grow. If this episode spoke to you, share it with someone who needs a gentle reminder that solitude is not loneliness, but a doorway to peace. Subscribe to Lety's English podcast for more healing stories, soft English lessons, and quiet courage. Remember, your softness is your strength. Your wisdom is enough. Your presence is a gift. Until next time, stay gentle, stay true, and never forget, you are stronger than you think.